increasing every day. Right? So they need a new data storage center every 6 months. Big area. And then electricity. But all of them is heating coming from that storage. So they need a cooling system. So that idea is coming from the two area space limitation and calculation by temperature cooling using ocean water. They tried. Okay. And this is a city, floating city idea coming from France. There is a project called Ch.1. Safety was issue. There is a storm is coming, or fire is coming out, those things. This is the floating port, similar to mobile harbor, all the different sizes. And this project is coming from a small canal, harbor, access in the ship. Right, so it's working now. And this is coming from last year. So, there are so many garbages coming and floating and gathering somewhere. There is I heard there are several spots in the whole world ocean. So the garbage is such like this one is gathering there. So they prepare idea to construct a factory to collect the plastics and generate energy out of them using the plastic. So clean up and then produce something. So it was a nice idea. And LNG fueled ship is a new trend now. It's a container ship. But the engine is fueled by no gasoline, no diesel oil, but LNG. It was also coming from last year. Right? So for the TOM project, you can find your own one. Some idea coming from myself because of the Korean accident of Seoul or something, and also explosion, renewable energy. Right. So this will be coming next class because there may be some changes of student bodies. So next week we will be fixing our student bodies. So we have a discussion, introduction of yourselves. Right. Questions? Any questions? No? Right, then I can cover the first set of slides. Okay, the textbook, one of the textbook is Elements of Ocean Engineering. And this is chapter titles. And green colored one is I'm trying to cover in this class. So ocean environment and offshore structure, floating bodies, underwater acoustics and applications. Right? Ocean, it is another frontier on Earth. 71% of the surface, 97% of the water, and underwater is not explored. So this is a diving depth, recreational dive, and technique is expert divers goes up to 50 meters, and saturation dive. Do you have any experience on diving, underwater diving? Anybody? Nobody. Saturation dive is a very high pressure air tank is there. Right? Usually, if you have only natural breathing, it's a 50 meter. But saturation means with special device, and also the composition of tank is not same as ordinary air. They have a special composition. And then average of ocean's depth is 4 kilometers high. And deepest point is 11,000. So half of you are coming from abroad. You must fly, right? Come to Korea. Do you know how high the airplane is flying when you come here? How much?
10 kilometers.
Right, 10 kilometers. Right. Usually the big airplane, long distance flying, 10, about this one, right? About this. The airplane is flying continental, intercontinental air flight is flying above 10,000 meter high. So similarity. Same again. And trade, world trade, maybe in terms of volume or weight, right? 90% of world trade using ships. So ship is important for the trade, right? Right. Especially Korea is very important because most of trade is using ship. Now some airplanes are using, right? Using, say, smartphone probably transported by airplane or semiconductors, right? Maybe, probably, because high valued products using airplanes, but mostly the others are using ships. Life on Earth, 80%. Protein, right? This may be new to you, right? Fish production is more than any other meat, right? In terms of volume or weight. Volcanic, 90%. Oil, 1/3, but it is also increasing. The percentage is increasing. More oil is coming from ocean. Because why? Surface is bigger, right? But why not so big? Not so only 1/3? Because of the cost. Oil coming from the earth or land is cheaper to take, right? But from the ocean, it takes more money. So it's expensive. Same oil coming from the earth, but the process of getting oil from the ocean is more difficult. Takes more time and more money. So, but now our oil from land side is going down, right? Going down. We need more oil, so we pay more money than oil is coming from the ocean. That is a long-term expectation. So you need to know about the ocean. All right. And this is a very good picture, so I will try to show you. sound. So this is a video coming from NASA. So they want to show you the movement of ocean, right? Movement of ocean. Current, you said current. It's very beautiful, right? Somebody are saying is picture coming from Go, French artist. Okay, this is Africa. Right? I'm more interested in nearby South Korea. It's coming. Where's your Azerbaijan is coming? Somewhere here. Oh, well, you don't have ocean?
Caspian Sea. It's not ocean. The Caspian Sea doesn't have.
Caspian. Okay. Australia, right? No? Oh no, Indonesia. Philippines, right? Japan and Korea. So this one is very big current. We call it Kuroshio current. So you can use some ocean current energy production. All right. So definition is coming this one. Ocean engineering principle applied to the ocean, right? But including rivers and lakes, but mostly on the ocean. Related discipline, naval architecture. We will cover this one, another textbook. Right? This is coming from. See, we have architecture. You know what is architecture? Right? Architecture. It's for the building, house, right? House. But Navy architecture. Because Roman, Egyptian, Mediterranean, see, the battle between nations at the time, more than 1,000 years ago, right? No airplane, no tank at that time. Right? Ship is the most important device for the battle between nations. Right? So you need a strong navy, and navy need a ship. That is the origin of this naval architecture, or name of naval architecture. At that time, there is a home, buildings, right? So architecture was there. But for the fighting, for the battle, right? The navy was most important. So historical. This is very historical. More than several thousand years old. Right? But ocean engineering is very new one. New field of academic division. Ocean engineering, probably beginning of ocean engineering can be 1960s. Until then, we don't have such engineering application of ocean world. We do some transportation all time, long time, but underwater or construction or digging, it was only new, right? So that's why. And marine engineering, usually we told about including inside the engine of the ship. So for the car, engine is most important, probably, right? So ship also, right? Engine. But you also see, I can show you later, but engine also only 100 years old, or 150 years. Right? Before then, we don't have an engine. So ships have been 2,000 years old. Right? Coastal engineering, offshore engineering, and fish farming is new area. Right? Fish farming. Because protein coming from ocean is growing, right? So we need the engineering for the fish growing. called aquaculture. All right, 15 minutes left, so we cover some of them. Naval architecture. Hull is the outer skin of the ship. Hull. Same because the historical name. Because ship was 1,000 years, airplane is only 100 years old, right? So airplane body we call also hull, the main body, right? And also submarine too, right? Hull. But the outer skin of the ship we call hull. So you will see, I told you that you need to learn about 1,000 terminologies, but you will find out the terminologies are very special, very not ordinary names, because of this history, very special names. But if you once learned about these special terminologies, you will find out many other places they use. Because of the old history, the same terminology is used by other industry sectors. Propulsion is engine and propeller. Marine engineering, so engine, right? Engine. You see that there is one person here, right? So it's a big engine. This whole is one single engine. Right? How many floors? Four floor high. Right? So diesel engine is this is a diesel engine, large diesel engine used by a ship or power plant. But power plant usually do not use diesel engine. Right? Power plant, what kind of engine is used in power plant? Anybody has an idea? Power plant. They generate electricity. What kind of engine they are using? How can they produce electricity? I did not catch your.
Brayton
Cycle. Brayton? Heat cycle. Right? Heat cycle, one of the heat cycle. Right. Steam turbine for core, using core, steam turbine. Steam turbine. Nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plant also steam turbine. The nuclear is burned slowly and then make boiling high pressure steam is generated from the nuclear power. And then that is used, the high pressure steam is used to turn the steam turbine, right? And then rotation converted into electricity. That's a nuclear power plant. Same idea. So most of them are using steam turbine. Core also used to produce steams, high pressure. Right? Oil also can be burned to produce high pressure steam. Right? But sometimes, nowadays, more and more power plant is using clean energy called LNG. Gas. Gas is cleaner than coal and diesel. And many people are saying also nuclear, cleaner than nuclear. We'll see. There is a debate. And also sometimes they use gas turbine. But gas turbine is very high cost. So emergency electricity, right? Sometimes we need emergency electricity in hospital, in school, right? Emergency electricity is generated usually using gas turbine. Gas turbine is similar to jet engine, airplane. Airplane is a gas turbine, right? Or diesel engine, small diesel engine, not so big. Emergency, right? But not so small. this big, this big. For this school, somewhere is an emergency electricity generator here. We don't know where is it. I don't know, but there must be, right? The size is some kind of this big, right? This big. Not so big, I think. This looks like a gas turbine or steam turbine. Right? It looks like a steam turbine for me. So this is an engine for ship. The size is big, right? How many horsepower? Do you know your car? Do you have a car? No. But you know a car, right? Well, how many horsepower they produce? A car, passenger car? Anybody? Several hundred. 200. Around. Depending on the size and 200. But for the ship, how many do you expect? Horsepower. Big ships, right? Say some number. Huh? Few thousand. More, more. 50,000 horsepower. For say big commercial ships, container ships. But aircraft carrier, they have a more power. 100,000. So aircraft carrier has an engine of what? Nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plant. Usually. We'll see that. Also, submarines also have a nuclear power plant inside. So it's interesting. Coastal engineering, you need this is a picture coming from a container port of Busan. Somebody is coming from Busan city? No. Have you been to Busan? Yes. Raise your hand. How many of you have been to Busan? Only Koreans. You'll come. Port of Busan is the biggest one in Korea, right? And old town has a old container yard, but this is a new port of Busan. West side of Busan. So you can see that this is a container yard, and this is under development. What is this? What looks like this? Airport. This is airport, but built on ocean. Right? Yeongjeongdo. Have you been to Incheon Airport? Right? Incheon Airport is similar. Right? Island airport. There was a small island, Yeongjeong Island, but they filled more land and then built an airport there, much bigger than this. This is coastal engineering. Offshore engineering, right. One is oil and gas producing. Right? This is a big business for Korean shipyard. And energy island. This is computer graphics, not real one. Right? But it's energy island, right? Wind and wave and solar and one more slide. Okay. Scope. So already see this. Coastal, offshore, ship, engine. Eh? Question? You should raise questions. Otherwise, I will ask you. Raise a question. That's why I make my class to the discussion session. Several years ago, I tried to make a discussion myself, but nobody answered to me. That's why you go, you lead your discussion. And my experience says it's much better than myself. Student leading discussion session is much better than lead by myself. That's why. See, you don't raise questions. Great. So see you on Wednesday then. Okay? Class. Stop. Sign sheet, please. You should check this. I need your email address. All right, see you on Wednesday. 이게 정리해서 나한테 주세요. 그 아까 보여줬던 그 저기 이 사이트에 들어갈 수 있어요, 김기동 씨가? 못 들어가지? 이 내가 보여줬던 이 학생 리스트 이거.
네.
여기 못 들어가죠?
예, 제가 못 들어갑니다.
그럼 내가 이번에 엑셀을 만들었으니까. 이 학생들 뭐 거의 한 3분의 1밖에 여기 있는 사람은 3분의 1밖에 안 오고 다 대부분 새로운 사람. 어쨌거나 보여드릴게요.
네.